Welcome to the Pixel Spark channel. We're doing mobile development from start to publish tonight, and we're going to be working on our flyout menu. If you're familiar with the hamburger button, the navigation drawer, all those different names for it, that's what we're going to be working on tonight. We're going to try adding our campaigns when we don't have anything selected. Last night we got our validation done and we set up selection for a campaign. So let's take a look here. This is right here is where we're going to be populating our stuff. So let's take a look at that. So we want to create a new view to start off with. So let's hello, loading templates. All right. So let's throw in a content view, and we'll call it campaign mini view. Sure, that sounds all right. And then we will create a class. Do we have a view model for our mini? No. We went with. Okay. So we will add. Sorry, campaign summary. So we're going to create our bindable controls. I wonder if we can just inherit. No, I don't. Well, let's try it out. Campaign mini view. Nope, a campaign summary view. Can't inherit from ourselves. It doesn't like that. Yes, I know. Phone. I'm streaming now. Thank you for notifying me. Appreciate that. A partial declaration of is not must specify different base. Okay, so we need to set up our base class. And we're going to add namespace, campaigns, campaign out of the view model or the view. Okay. Bum. I may regret this. What am I setting with my properties? No, I am. Yeah, no. Nope. Okay. Never mind. Undo that. Content view. Just copy these. We don't need is editable. There is our copy our event handlers. Where do we get where are the properties? The properties are here. Okay. We don't need is editable. So we've created our properties here. Now we need to actually create the page. So we want something really tight. So we want stack layout. Now, well, let's do a grid. Grid dot column definitions width 120 I know that's way too small, but we'll eventually grow it. Width star. That means just expand. And then, oh, we've got our column definitions. What is, why? You know what? What is going on here with the formatting here? I can't decide if it's two spaces or 4 spaces. This must be a developer conference because they're arguing over spaces and tabs in my page here, in my XAML. Okay, images. Let's call it xname preview image. Yep. And then we need a, excuse me, grid.column equals 0. We don't need that, but there it is. Stack layout, grid.column 1. Oops. And what? Can I just format this? Where? Whatever. Okay. This is driving me nuts. So let's add our first label. Oh, let's see if we can steal this. Campaign summary view from ourselves. Not really stealing if it's from ourselves, is it? I pushed the button, didn't I? I had to think about it. Inaccessible due to its level. What? Oh. Yeah. Campaign menu view. Do we get it all? Yep. All right, we should be able to run it now. Okay, now we need to actually add it. So, let's take a look here. New menu item. Binding context. So let's, okay, so we need the campaign store. So let's grab that. Service provider, get required service campaign, data store, iData store. Where is that? That is, it's iData store. Oh, I have to include it using campaign, blammo. Did all our includes. Excuse me. Make sure you have all your spacing in there. Get rid of the squiggly lines. Get campaign. Get item, sorry. Async, await. So var campaigns. Take. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do async in a constructor. Can I do table campaign to list? No, it's only async. Okay, so it has to be async, kind of. So let's take this out to the shed. Let's go to our app. So we do on start. So we could do it here, because that is async. Um, Service provider. App shell current service provider. Get required service. iData store. It's awfully wordy, but gets the job done. If campaign, oh, let's see here. If selected, oh, let's reinstate this for a bit. All right, we don't want to do this for now. Let's comment that out. Oops, did not mean to comment that out. So we'll move this down here. That's the campaign store. Campaign store dot get items, and we're only going to get so many. So var campaigns await. So we're going to wait here. Campaigns dot take. Why can I not do that? What are we returning? It's an enumerable. So if campaigns count greater than 0, can I do that? It works. Doesn't work. Why doesn't this work? It's an enumerable. Okay. It count greater than 0, then campaigns for each. Can I do that for an enumerable? No. All right, so for each campaign, we're going to create a new menu item. New menu item. So what can I put in a menu item? An icon image source, I can't do an image. I've got text, and I've got a binding context. What if I do set that to campaign, and then when we come back into our XAML and campaign mini view, title equals binding title, subtitle equals binding subtitle, image source equals binding, what did I say this was? Go to definition. Oh, it's image URL. Okay. And then we'll do a command. So let's borrow this. Excuse me. And we'll borrow this. We can't bind that, can we? Okay. Yeah, we will make this bindable, but not yet. All right. So this is just our view. So, what is the deal? Oh, expected. Don't need this anymore. That didn't seem to work. So let's figure out why it didn't. Put a breakpoint there and run it again. So that's not helpful. Why don't we try? Let's go do some googling with Bing. No, that I don't get any money for every time I say that. Though if they want to sponsor my show, that'd be great. But not a thing. Is enabled. Is destructive. Indicates that when the so do what is this? Move behind. Define behavior within the VM. Oh, that's interesting. Except this is list view, not shell. New menu item. Da 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 da. Shell state. Current state. Oh, well, that should fix our issue with it showing that, but is it just not showing up? It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, it's not showing up correctly. Okay, so horizontal options expand. Oh, we should probably do it while it's running. Know that it's adding, so we don't need that there. So I hear it clicking up here. So that means it's there. Can we set a background color of red? Oh, there it is. There it's showing up. Let's set a background color of purple. And there's actually a really cool library for this that we probably should be using. Fill and expand. Okay, so we've got it going all the way across. Let's background color green. Can we do that? So it is there. Or let's set a breakpoint. I gotta be careful with this because it can be problematic. You know what I think it is? I think we need to use binding context dot, because we're bound to the menu item. I think we're gonna have to restart it. Nope, that didn't help. All right, so um, menu item template. Okay, so let's do a search on that. So let's dig into the documentation for it. So we've got shell, we've got tabs, navigation, templates, data templates. Oh, that's really not helpful. Xamarin, forms, shell, menu template. All right. So what do we have in the document? Nope, that's not useful. That's interesting. Not really helpful. Interesting. We might use that later, actually. So, well, I think there'd be some better documentation on this. All right, so here we've got the menu items. Flyout menu items. It's a flyout item. I need menu items. Flyout content. Menu items. All right, so we've got text. Da-da-da. Yep. Binding context of each menu item is inherited from the subclass shell object. So we can do the icon, but I don't want to do a font image. An icon image source. Can I? Title. We're just not going to set that for now. Oh, icon and text, right? There's our template icon and text. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Oh, did I not add it to the code? Oh, no, I gotta, comma, text equals campaign.title, icon image source equals image source dot from URI. Now hopefully this will be flexible. Otherwise, we're going to have to write our own method to handle that. Okay. Getting there. All right, so let's tinker with this. Aspect fit. No. Yeah, aspect fit. Keep leaving that on. Did that change anything? No. Okay, so background color, dynamic resource, secondary background color. Padding equals 5, 15, 0, 0. I don't know. No, that didn't work out. That's the top. So 15, do 10, 5, 0, 5. I guess it's manageable. Why is that so tall? Okay, so this is not working. That's not it. This is not working. So do we want to try from file? Okay, that's better. We need to set a height to limit that. So we'll set, do we want to set it here? 70. Is that what we want? There we go, aspect fill. Okay. Now, is there a way that we could somehow pass along the binding context? So this should inherit the binding context. So what if set that there? All right, so if we have binding context, no, that's a bad sign. Um, hmm. Binding context. So that is null. Okay, so how do we make this? Um, where would we break for that? Are there any events? Let's see what events we have. This dot on measure size allocated set app theme. Ooh, I wonder what this is. Plus equal. Yep. Okay. Brain no worky worky. Well, how's everybody doing tonight? If you're a first time watcher, be sure to ask questions. I am keeping an eye on chat and I'll do my best to answer. If you have anything else that you would like to cover, let me know and I can consider it for future sessions. Also, let me know um, uh, what you think. Go ahead and add comments later if you want to watch. Um, let's see, we got a binding context somewhere in here, don't we? Oh, this is the binding context. So it is a shell item. It's a menu item. Does that have a binding context? Base shell item. Um, hmm. Take a look. Navigable element. That. Yeah, yeah. There we go. That is the app shell view model, which doesn't help. So when we were setting this here, I have to play phone tag, kind of. but I'm cheating. I'm passing the phone number to someone else. All right. Number passed along. What can we do? Well, I guess I could inherit from menu item. We could create. I don't even know where I would put that. Let's just put it in the root for now. Let's create a new campaign menu item. Menu item. Nope. Not going to get out of it that easy. All right, so this is a bindable object. So we want to create. Oh, this is so repetitive. I do not like repetitive code, but I don't know a better way to do this. Ooh, need to fix that. Um, okay, we need to go over here and do something similar. We don't need the events. So we can get rid of that. Now we need the properties. And then instead of creating a new menu item, let's go ahead and create a campaign menu item. And title. Excuse me, my stomach just really unsettled tonight. So we're going to populate our newly created properties for our campaign menu item, and we should be able to bind to that. Nope. Source in our template. So let's go back to the template. Title, source, and then subtitle. And what is our type? It is a menu item. A menu shell item. Great. Oh, but we could. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. So let's do this. Menu item dot, and then we can actually reference the menu item. All right, so what was I doing wrong? Crap. Let's fix the properties everywhere else. And then where else am I using that? The summary. So this is why I don't like repeating myself, because I can just change it in one place and then it affects everything. But unfortunately in C# we don't have multiple inheritance. Ring-a-ding-ding. All right. There we go. So that looks much better. We might want to tighten this up, maybe shrink the text a little bit. But for now, let's go ahead and map this. Do we want to add? Can we add a line between them? Let's see here. Can we do? We're still running. Okay, so we can do border. Does frame have a border? Yes. Okay. So we're going to set up a border with a primary background color. No. Let's just do background colors. It's much simpler. And then we're going to have padding. Let's see here, spacing. Is there spacing? No. There is margin, which we're going to set to 0. And then this is the top right bottom. And then we're going to, that's just ugly. Why is there all that spacing? What is wrong with this? Why is the formatting is all messed up? Well, let's get rid of that breakpoint because we know that we're doing that correctly now. Nope. Why? Margin 0. Padding 0. Why do I always get that wrong? So that is left, top, right, bottom. So we want to make that 2 and that 0. So there we go. No, we want it on bottom. So let's add 2. What is that little dot there? Oh, is that corner radius 0? Fix that? Yes. So that was a rounded corner. So we just have the ever so slight line between these and one at the end. And then we can hook up a command. Let's look at object browser. See if we can find tap gesture. And we'll go ahead and create a, oh gosh. It's thinking about it. Hello. Okay. UI. Can we do? Okay. So what does that inherit from? UI gesture recognizer. Oh, that's. What am I doing? That's an iOS. Okay, so we need Xamarin Forms tap recognizer. Command. Where we could see the code for this. Browse definition. No. Oh, here it is. You know what I can do? Let's just go to GitHub. GitHub. I really don't think I should be showing you all this, but yeah. Let's see here. Xamarin components, Xamarin Forms. So if you ever want to know how they do it, check out their GitHub repo. And shape cells, drag and drop, interactivity, triggers and behaviors, multi-condition, multi-trigger. Okay. Internals, items, what is that a part of? It's just in Xamarin Forms. Oh, well, here it is. Eventually, maybe. We'll get to T. I'm used to having to go down this far since my name starts with an S. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? There it is. So this is pretty simple. We could just copy and paste. Pretty much what we're already doing. Ooh, I don't know why they're using a string. I command property. I do as I command. I'm just paranoid about casting exceptions, I guess. And then let's go ahead, well, let's go ahead and add that. Ooh. Excuse me. That looks right. I wonder why they don't use name of. It's an interesting question. Now I suddenly have this, the theme song from, what do you call it? Oh gosh. Okay, so got that worked out. Now we need to actually make this happen. We can add content view. Gesture. Hello. Oh, it's inside content. Sorry. No wonder it wasn't working. Content view dot gesture recognizers. Tap gesture recognizer. Command binding. So this is how I could have done it instead of using those events. No, I don't need it. Well, name it. X name many view. I'll just call it many view because I'm feeling lazy. Command X reference. Let's see here. Source. Many view. So we're referencing the many view as our source because we're not using a binding context. Command parameter. Nope, I want a command parameter. So this is basically binding to itself. So, okay, so we've got that down. We're binding to ourselves command and command parameter. So this should work by adding to our menu item template command binding. What is our app shell view model? What, we already have this? Tapped go to oh, that needs to be a different name, but yeah, okay. Close this. Let's close a bunch of this stuff because this is just getting too busy. Yeah, let's rename that. Unfortunately, this does not the refactoring does not update the finding here. So we need to have a new command. Once I remember where my properties are. Okay. Public async command, and we want to have a GUID pass to it. That'll be our ID. Tapped campaign command get set. And then that. Ooh, I wonder how this will look when I update it. We probably should do some animation stuff with it at some point. That's a little beyond what we're doing right now. But we can do async GUID command, tapped campaign async, and then we'll implement that. All right, method. Let's move that down here with the rest of our methods. We'll put it above the other one since that's where it is. Jesus, I am so sorry. Oof, sleepy today. Now we're going to go ahead and use Messaging Center again. just the way we did it before. Yep, that's what we want to do. We might want to make this, bring this up into the base view model at some point as a method, but we're not going to do that quite yet. We don't have campaign store. Find all references. Do we? How do we get this? Where do we assign that? How does that not have any references? Find all references. Oh, I was... Okay. So that should be fine to do adds to the constructor. Data store campaign store public read only because we don't want to modify it. Campaign store. Oops. And we probably technically should have a logger in here. I know I'm not using it much, but we should be using it a lot more. Put a comma in there. Public read only, I logger. Every time I say logger, I want to start singing the Lumberjack song from Monty Python. Probably not appropriate, but yeah, and I won't hurt your ears with that. Campaign store. Oh, we need to add async. There we go. Let's try it out. Let's see if this works. Let's put a breakpoint in here. I know I probably skipped a step in here, but we'll figure it out the hard way. You think after figuring it out the hard way enough times, I'd stop having to do that, but you know. Why do we fall down? So we learn to pick ourselves back up. Okay, did we not? All right, we assigned it. So why is that not, is it not binding? Ooh. Excuse me. Cannot shake this tonight. Just not setting it. Oh, ha 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 ha. I am so smart. SMRT. All right, we don't need the binding context anymore. And let's say we need tapped campaign command source reference. Did we define the name for this yet? No. Oops. That probably breaks something. Get rid of the, or hide the resources. Let's make this reference shell. And we're going to say binding context. And now we need to do the parameter. Oh. New item .ide. So we'll have to expose the IDE. Oh, back itches. Go down to campaign name. Campaign menu item, excuse me. And then we're going to grab this. We're going to say default GUID. I'm going to say GUID. I'm going to say ID property. I'm going to say name of ID. Okay. And then we're going to add, oops. GUID. So we'll have to name it something else. So what do we want to name this? Campaign ID? Yep, that sounds good. App shell campaign ID. And then that should bind everything that we need to make this work. Do, 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 do. All right. Of course we throw an error. Okay. Target evocation error. Let's throw this in the notepad. That's really not helpful. That's not helpful either. So I probably have something wrong with my XAML here. Let's try that again. What is my ID? It is nothing. Not a zilch. That's unfortunate. Why is that nothing? Command parameter. Okay. So is it throwing an error here or when it receives it? Let's put the binding context back. And then where were we catching that? Binding context changed. Nope. Here? In here. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna catch this and see if our campaign ID is set, because it should be set. Just thinking about it. Still thinking about it. Okay. What do we got here? Binding context. Menu item, campaign menu item. What? Why can't I see the value of this? It's not set. Is it getting set? Hmm. Oof. Source property changed. Okay, let's take a look here. Title, command property. Why don't we create property changed? Oop. Spelling is important. Command parameter property changed. Generate method. Let's not throw an exception there. It's thinking about it. Okay, so command property changed. New value, old value. So it is setting it to default. That's the binding context. It's changed again. Is this from the default value? Nope. Binding context. Oh, I am not setting it here. Dir campaign ID equals campaign.id. Like I always say, computers are dumb, but not in an insulting way, but they only do what we tell them to. If you don't tell them to do it, then they won't do it. So it's really kind of us that are dumb, unfortunately, because we forget to tell the computer to do stuff. So we don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore. And that ID is an actual ID. There we go. Get rid of that breakpoint. Sweet. Okay. So we probably want these to go away. And eventually we'll want to have some kind of want to update some kind of date to the most recently viewed or something. Let's see what we can do here. So campaign selected. I wish I could bind to items. They made a lot of things that the design decisions in Shell. That I'm not quite happy with. And this is not virtual, so I cannot overwrite it. And I don't want to do any accessing of App Shell from here if I can avoid it. So, um, we'll think about how I'm going to do that. I think I'll save that for next time. Let's go ahead and wrap this up for tonight. I really need to work on putting my changes into GitHub and sharing that with y'all, and you can see what I'm doing. I think next week we're going to work on styles and pulling that into a unified place for that. And be able to have a dark theme and a light theme. And so we'll be back with mobile development on Monday and Tuesday of next week. And then this Friday is game night. So if y'all are interested in playing, you can definitely join us in Discord. I don't know what game we'll be playing yet, but if you have a suggestion and you want to show up, do so. We could play something. I might try something new, or we could do Valheim or 7 Days or Rust even. Let me know. And thank you all for joining. Be sure to subscribe, like, follow, all those lovely things. Smash the bell, whatever you call it nowadays. And I appreciate y'all's support. Goodbye.